Hello, everyone. This is Noemi Banchi. We are broadcasting from the Blue Mountains in New South Wales, Australia. So we are talking about metaphysics. We are going to talk about the inner sun. And well, if you want to know why, because we are studying these two books at the same time. Unveiled Mysteries by Guy Ballard or Godfrey Ray King, and Visible Saint-Germain by Ruben Cedeño, who wrote the comments on the previous book. And in a nutshell, Guy Ballard met Saint-Germain in Mount Shasta, California, and he wrote this book where he explained all his adventures or all the Saint-Germain's teaching. And well, this is what we're studying today. And this is what Guy Ballard says: through past training, I never went to sleep without holding my attention upon the great God self within and sending a thought of loving gratitude to Saint-Germain. So if we recap what we were talking before, he said that, well, obviously Saint-Germain opened his eyes to all this knowledge, so he discovered a new way of living. And when someone asks me, okay, what is your hobby, or what do you do, or do you talk, like sometimes they say you talk about spirituality, and I say yes, because I studied metaphysics. Oh, and what is metaphysics? Well, metaphysics is a way of living, a philosophy of life. And for that reason, I imagine Guy Ballard said this every night. He was so grateful for having all this knowledge, and he always sent a thought to Saint-Germain in gratitude for all this teaching. And well, only Guy Ballard? Of course not. You also can do this, and I do as well. So we can say, before you fall asleep, during my sleeping time, I am with my God self within, Saint-Germain, and the spiritual hierarchy. And you just fall asleep. For those people who, move around at night, this is perfect for insomnia, and even for everybody. You will sleep very peacefully if you do this decree. So Guy Ballard continues. I heard Saint-Germain's voice say, "Come." I had learned to obey that call and immediately stood outside of my body and came to the royal Teton, where Saint-Germain was waiting my arrival. We traveled south and we saw Los Angeles, Mexico City, and the ruins of Mitla in the state of Oaxaca, Mexico. So if we recap, let's have a look at this map here. And okay, so we have so where was when Guy Ballard heard Saint Germain's voice? Where was he? In California. He was in McLeod, in the hotel in McLeod, where he met Saint Germain. In where? In which mountain? Mount Shasta. Yep, correct. Well, so then when he heard Saint Germain's voice, he was almost falling asleep. So he went straight away to Grand Teton. Where is Grand Teton? In Wyoming. So we are talking here in the US. Now, then he said, and we saw cities. So we went south, like south, yes, here. South, and then they saw Los Angeles, they saw Mexico City, and they arrived in Mitla. It's still Mexico. And we will see what did they find there. Mitla. Well, Mitla is a ceremony complex in the state of Oaxaca, Mexico, and is the old ruins of an ancient temple built by the Ascended Masters. So, if you have the opportunity, you will go to Mitla and you will see some of these, where the place is actually. Guy Ballard, Saint Germain says, Guy Ballard, Lotus, and Donald were born as the children of an Inca ruler who called to the one supreme God for light, abundance, and perfection to bless his people and the land. So who was Lotus, Donald, Guy? So Guy Ballard, in that time, in that embodiment, he was married to Lotus. And they had a child, Donald. But they were, before that embodiment, they were together before, because Inca rule was many, many years ago. And they were the children of the Inca ruler. The inner sun. The Inca's devotion to his source was very great, for he knew and consciously acknowledged the power of the great central sun. This true understanding was taught to the Incan people, who used the sun as the symbol of the Godhead. So it's like they symbolize at some point, they acknowledge the great central sun as the sun itself, and that became the symbol, the representation. But also that, and I think I'm going a few steps ahead, that is also within people, inner sun. So the sun you see outside is also the same as is inside within you. So they had real inner understanding and acknowledged the fullness of the power from this great central sun, which today we call the Christ, for it is the heart of the Christ activity in the universe. That sun that you see in the sky is the great central sun. And the sun itself is the heart of the solar system, is the center. And this, for that reason, is called the crest activity. Well, if you want a better picture, let's see this one. And let's have a look at the PowerPoint. Well, we have here, so the different planets and the sun. And what happened? Well, this is the heart. The heart means center, the center of our galaxy. And the sun, the name of our sun is Helios and Vesta, who are also known as the great central sun. And then we have Mercury, Venus, Earth, and so on. Every single planet are like electrons around the nucleus, of the atom. So they are moving around this center, this sun, for us, because there are many, many galaxies. So our solar system is this, and the center is the great central sun, and we know them, or we call them, as Helios and Vesta. So I like this, I did this picture actually, to see that these planets, in a nutshell, the evolution was, so we came from the sun. This is our source. So the Inca ruler knew the reason, the source was the sun, and they used the sun as symbol. And all the planets went out of the sun, like tack, 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 tack. And then when they got to the last point in vibration, because everything is vibration, and they start the return to the sun. And that is evolution. So every single planet is moving one step up and forward. Tack, 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 tack. So next time we are going to be in Venus place, and Mercury will go into the sun, and every single planet will move. That is the plan. By the way, and this is not in this particular book, but I just came to my mind a few days ago, the 1st of May, there was a congress, an international congress of metaphysics in Buenos Aires, Argentina. And they were talking about Saint Germain's teaching, because was the celebration of the 70 years of the coronation of Saint Germain as the avatar of this new age, Aquarius age, and also the coronation as him as the king of the golden age, which is longer than the Aquarius age. And that was a reminder of when all the planets, like you are seeing here, were ready to do one step forward, like I said, one step forward and above. Everyone was ready except one. One planet wasn't ready. And guess what? Which one? The Earth. our home wasn't ready. So, an edict, cosmic edict came to say, okay, if you're not ready, you're out. So the planet was going to be destroyed because people living on this planet were not ready to do this step forward. So what happened? Some beings, among them Moria, Sonderman, and Lady Nada, they worked. They planned. They plan a plan. I don't know. And they say, okay, we need to organize this. We need to make this plan work. Otherwise, this is the end. So you are living in your beautiful house because of them. Because they did this, they make this plan, they create this plan, and they start working with humanity, the ones who were ready to listen and to do the job. And this is why we are here today, because we had the knowledge of this information. Like today we are talking about the inner sun and the violet fire and the seven rays. So, and then if you were wondering why Guy Ballard every single night was thinking of Sunderman and being grateful, do you think it's a reason? Enough reason to be grateful? Every single night. Thank you, Sunderman, for this teaching. So, the great central spiritual sun is creation center, is the center. We said that. The manifested God, the universal being. If you hear the word God and for you doesn't sound anything, well, you can use these other words. Creation center, you can use the universal being, Ishvara, the totality of life. Because life, you know that life exists. What is the proof? How can we prove that life exists? Can you take your pulse? Can you feel your pulse? Is your heart beating? You are alive. That is the sign that life exists. Well, like you, in your individuality, you are the same as that big, huge body we call sun. Saint Germain says the God, self-witting, is the same God in the heart center of the universe. What is the main component, let's say, of the sun? Do you know? Hydrogen. And are you aware that your body is also full of hydrogen? It's one of the elements. Yeah, indeed. So, what does it tell you? That sun, with all this, the potential, the source of light, is the same as your individuality. Is the same power is within you. And this is, well, just to see another representation, let me make it bigger. So this is we call the great central spiritual sun. And is composed, well, you see, like the threefold flame, blue, golden, and pink, surrounded by the 7 concentric spheres: blue, golden, pink, white, green, gold ruby, and violet. Those spheres exist. Is the causal body of the great central spiritual sun. In other words, if you talk about God, let's say God, for example, God is protection. God is intelligence. God is love. God is ascension, purity. God is health. God is prosperity, peace. God is forgiveness. And you say, when you are lacking of health, because there is some condition, some appearance. Remember, we don't say illness, because illness is just an appearance. When you are suffering, because it's not funny, an appearance, and lack of money. You want to pay your bills, and you say, well, I need money. Well, you want to go to the bank. You want, like rain instead of water, money. And you, like this Inca ruler, you should know this is also within you. This is the representation of you. But of course, it's not the picture you see in front of a mirror. This is the representation of the I am presence. In other words, you in 3 parts: the spirit, this, your soul or consciousness, which is this, blue, golden, and pink, surrounded by this same, exactly the same causal body as you see here, and the personality. Can you see a thought? Of course not. But can you see its effects? You do. Well, in this is the same. So all that health that you want is within you. All that prosperity, all the money that you need and you want to spend is within you. All the peace that you want, inner peace. Have you seen Kung Fu Panda when he wants to inner peace is within you. All the intelligence, if you need to pass an exam, all of that is within you. If you want to forgive something, forgiveness is also within you. So you don't have to wait something or someone. You just need to change your way of thinking, because at this moment you are not connected to your inner self. So let's say, for example, that the issue is love and you want to meet someone, but instead of preparing yourself and thinking, oh yes, I'm going to find someone, then you might think, oh yes, everyone, the only thing they want is this or that. Oh, I don't have luck, I'm not lucky in my relationship for this or for that. Well, you are shutting the door in front of your face, and for that reason you are not with someone. So love is there. You just need to use the power of your thought and feelings, and you will see The doors wide open. The same with money, the same with health, and so on. Great. Go. Okay, so how do we use this power? By recognition. So we recognize this power within us. So we say this decree every day. Let me make it bigger for you so you can read. Let's say, Great God within, I now assume your eternal dawn, receiving your great splendor and activity which manifest visibly. And you can say this decree facing the sun when you wake up in the morning, facing east. And you acknowledge your inner sun, your inner being. The solar energy penetrates my body. This is another decree. We can say it together. The solar energy penetrates my body, giving me life, health, joy, and provision of every good thing. There's a very, very delicate topic about sun. I don't want to start a discussion about this, but some studies say that sun can provoke cancer. I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm just going to focus on this decree, that the solar energy, the sun, can also give us life, which indeed it does. It gives. Imagine if we don't have the sun, we don't have heat, plants don't grow, we don't have water, there's no cycle of rain, and then there's no life. Health, I don't know if you're aware that when you are exposed to solar energy, your body is producing vitamin D. Your bones are stronger. You produce more blood cells. Plus joy. Light always gives you joy and energy. And you can see that in winter, you are not as so, I don't know what is the word, so willing to go outside and do things as you do in summer. Because summer we have more light time, apart from the daylight saving, of course, and provision of every good thing. Every good thing. So the provision of everything good, of course, always good. And this is, well, the image of a sun, the sun. Saint Germain continues. Lotus, remember who was Lotus? Guy Ballard's wife, correct. Lotus was called Mitla in that life. And it was in honor of her that the city was named. The same as Bolivia. Do you know that Bolivia was named because of Bolivar, Simon Bolivar? That was a country, but this was a city, Mitla. Here, by the way, I went the other day to a city called St. Albans. St. Albans. So yeah, another city. So, coming back to this. Here she served as priestess for more than 40 years. My age. It was one of the most magnificent temples of that period, and no expenses was spared. The people who were ruling that at that time, they expend money a lot to do a good thing. And this is something that in metaphysics we learn from Emmett Fox, our great grandfather. He always said, always all the best. Always the best. If you're going to buy a jacket, the best. If you're going to buy milk, the best. The best milk, the one you like. Not the cheapest or the one is, with discount. Obviously you can use discounts, you can use the opportunities, but not because it's cheap. It's because, okay, I want this and it's in a good price, let's take it. So no expenses was spared. Always the best, remember. Okay, so, and although this is in the book of Gottfried Ray King, but the way that is presented, Rubén Cedeño explained in that way in his book. So it says 6 accomplishments. Saint-Germain explains the way to attain the supreme accomplishment as Jesus and other ascended masters did. So when you see or when you hear about Jesus, healing people, I am astonished with the event in that city where was okay, if I remember, I say the event when he precipitated food for, I don't know, 5,000 people, something like that, only with a few fish and a few breads and loaves. That's it. What else he did? He resurrected friends, birds. You don't know. When he was a child, he was practicing to use this ascended ray. So when every time he saw dead bird, he took it between his hands and just practicing the ascension, the resurrection, and then the bird became alive. So when you hear all these things that Jesus did, well, it's not only him. So you can do as well. You can heal. If you don't want to, heal everyone else like a doctor, but you can heal yourself. If you don't want to work as in the financial environment, but you want to be prosperous, well, you can. So how do we do this accomplishment? Well, let's see. First, turn away from creeds, cults, dogmas, isms, and all else that binds and limits. So first of all, cut off all the ideas of limitation, all those kind of thoughts. You can say, I take all the power away. You can change your mind. You can, the same as you can change your body, you can change your mind. Number 2, focus your attention upon the great God presence within your own heart. So focus within you, that whatever you need is already there. You already have. Is something that you don't know how to? You say, I can. So focus on yourself. Number 3, realize what freedom, power, and light is dependent only on your recognition and use of the great loving presence within. The presence is there all the time. You just need to pay attention, focus, recognize, use the decree that we say at the beginning, like when you wake up, the greeting, the sun greeting. When you go to bed, say the decree that you will be with your inner self. And during the day, all the time. Number 4, realize that your body is the temple of the Most High Living God. You are not your body, your consciousness. Number 5, love that mighty self. Talk to it. Acknowledge it in all things. And number 6, feel the reality of that presence. So these are the 6 accomplishments. If you do them, then this is what Jesus did. And Saint Germain says, when Jesus said, verily, verily, I say unto you, the words that I do shall ye do also, and greater words than these shall ye do. That is the Old English. He showed the conscious dominion and proved to mankind that it is possible for everyone to so call forth his God self that he can consciously control all things human. Remember when we saw the picture? Let's go back to the picture like we saw this picture. When we say that you are this, but this is your human part, your personality, your thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. And this is your divinity, your spirit, so the perfect part of you. So these two are connected by a link, which is your inner self, your consciousness, or your Christ. So where were we? So this is yes. So if you recognize these, your inner self, then you can do all these things that Jesus did. And he says greater. What could be greater than resurrecting a person? You might think. The Ascended Master is an individual who by self-conscious effort has generated enough love and power within himself to snap the chains of all human limitation. In evolution, this is not while we are going to the goal of this teaching is not about talking about evolution, but just to understand in a nutshell. In order to evolve, we need to do a few steps or several steps. The first one is when you are like a rock. So then you understand how is to be a rock. Then you know, and then you evolve, and you are part of the vegetal kingdom. So you know how to be a plant with, all the process and so on. Then the kingdom, the animal kingdom, and then the human kingdom. But one day, after all that, then Yeah, it's like Darwin. It wasn't so crazy when he said we came from the monkey. Well, and then we have one step forward. This is not the end. The ascended master is the next level. These glorious beings guard and help the evolving human race. They have ascended into the next expression above the human, which is the superhuman, divinity perfection. And is all about the six accomplishments that we said. Okay, oh my God, thank you so much for being here today. And just to remind you, these activities are for free. And of course, they are the video, you can see it many times. And if you are willing to give a donation, there is a link below so you can give a donation, a loving donation, to help to expand this teaching. Well, thank you very much. See you next time. Bye for now.